Hello, and welcome to Convinced Catholicism, a place for all things Catholic. Today I have a very, very interesting book here. It is the Word on Fire Bible, specifically the Gospels. And right off the bat, let me just be honest with you. I have mixed thoughts on this book. For those of you who are not familiar with the Word on Fire Bible, it is done by Bishop Barron. And I remember I was so excited um, when he announced this. Bishop Barron himself gets a few mixed thoughts here and there. And, I feel like he gets a lot of praise and a lot of criticism. Some of it's deserved and some of it isn't on both sides. He really does evangelize, and he markets toward Catholics and even just people in Christendom in general very, very, very well. But some people have found him divisive, and I would lean more toward I like Bishop Barron than I don't like Bishop Barron. He has done a lot of good in the world, and I don't think that can be outweighed. And I would say that this book, for the most part, is one of them. Although I do wish that there was a little bit more thought and time taken into it, right? So just right off the bat, this book is very big. This is not meant for a personal devotional Bible. This is meant more as a living room display Bible or an office study Bible. Okay, the front is very beautiful and important just to begin with. It has the four gospel creatures on it, the Alpha, the Omega. It has the Old Testament symbolism here, as well as the New Testament. We have several symbols for Christ, the Chi-Rho, Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews, IHS, and Jesus Christ conquers, the Greek for that. It's also in a beautiful leather. This is one of the few and one of the first books that I've reviewed that are in a not only real leather, but like an heirloom quality. This is a very good leather. Word on Fire Bible, Chi-Rho, specifically the Gospels. Okay. It measures in at a left-handed, basically 7 inches wide, and 9 3/4 inches tall, and then probably about an inch and a half, an inch and a half thick. Okay, so again, desk Bible, living room stand Bible, right? So the exterior is very beautiful. Unfortunately, the interior, and don't get me wrong, the pages are very well laid out and it's very beautiful and everything, but the interior is, I would say, lacking to some degree, because look at that binding is not very strong at all. That's almost like an independent workshop binding. I mean, some print-on-demand places have better binding than that, and I don't know if you can see that too well, but the ribbon, you can see it's just very lazily glued onto this. I almost feel like I'm afraid to read it because it will be pulled out. And then also you'd hope that this lays flat, and it does to some degree, but once you get to those pages, I mean, that's not very far into the Bible at all. It doesn't really lay flat all that greatly, so I mean the middle, I mean, that's more into the Bible, but the middle does to an extent, and I get it, you have to break this in, so on and so forth, but you would expect it to lay flat at least a little bit better upon arrival. But the interior is beautiful. So what is this Bible for? Bishop Barron, his ministry is particularly interested in That's a nice protective cover there. Is particularly interested in combining the beauty of little T tradition with big T tradition. And those are some Catholic school terms. What is little T and big T tradition? Big T tradition is something like Eucharist is the body and blood of Christ. The Virgin Mary is the mother of God. Jesus is fully God, fully man. There are saints in heaven. Hell is where bad people go, or people who have abandoned God go. And those are big T traditions, dogma, doctrine, so on and so forth. Little T tradition, on the other hand, is candles on the altar, incense, praying the rosary, praying a novena, having a patron saint, so on and so forth. And so he likes to create, and you can kind of see it here. You can see Matthew chapter 2, verse 11. It's talking about the painting that represents the gifts of the Magi, the adoration that the Magi give to Christ in this painting. And he goes in and he basically shows the symbolism here in a better detail. And what he basically wants, and this is kind of his little slogan, Bishop Barron, is to have a full cathedral in print in your house. Kind of like an art museum or a cathedral in your house. And so this, and I really like the way that this is detailed. This is not meant to be read per se as like a lectionary Bible for daily reading, although it can be. There is, I would say, this is more for if you wanted to really get a better understanding of how the Catholic tradition, little t, has developed because of our big T tradition. This is the Bible for you. And it also has commentary from different saints and a lot of church fathers and a lot from Bishop Barron himself as well, and from other modern and current theologians. So this is, in a way, a study Bible. The way that Bishop Barron advertised this, it almost seems like it would be an equal mix, Bishop Barron and other. And to be totally honest, it really is kind of just a bunch of Bishop Barron's homilies and videos added to some of the gospel passages. You can see here that there's a 2.5 page, 2.25 page study on the Word became flesh, which is fine. This is his book, and he can do with it what he wants. Or it's his edition of the Bible, I should say. Something I will say is that it could be a little bit overwhelming or daunting to figure out where to stop and where to end with this Bible for daily devotional reading. I don't know if Bishop Barron has posted anywhere a lectionary for this, or if he hopes that you would just follow the daily gospel readings, which is a good option. Not only a good option, it's the option, I guess you could say, is find out from your national calendar what your readings are, and they should be the same throughout the world, I assume. But this is a very readable Bible, okay? And we have some, okay, so it says how to approach the Bible. And, there's different keys and codes in this Bible that have to do with the different symbolisms of Christ. And I think you may have noticed them throughout. But let's take a look through it and we'll see. So there's different notes here. Look, so cutting off the ear, and it has a Chi-Rho instead of another symbol. And it says, the apostle cuts the ear off the high priest's servant. That is, a disciple of Christ cuts off a disobedient ear. What was once incapable of hearing the truth is now cut off. And that is from Saint Hilary of Poitiers, which is an ancient saint, as we can see, from 310 to 368. I would imagine he is a martyr. We have another Saint Justin martyr very famous for basically giving historians an account of what the Mass is like. Then we see another symbol, IHS. This is Fulton Sheen, Blessed Fulton Sheen, soon to be Saint Fulton J. Sheen. Benedict XVI, who was alive during this publication but has since received his eternal reward. And so we have other commentaries. So this is a good Bible in many ways. And look, here's how a cathedral is like a new temple. And this is a commentary by Michael Stevens, who I'm not personally familiar with, but I'm sure he's good. And it shows the typical layout of a nave in a church and a sanctuary and so on and so forth. Just actually really the general church body, physical building body as a whole. So I really do think that this is a great Bible for those of you who don't have the privilege of going to, say, a museum or visiting these cathedrals, who maybe they are alone in this journey, that maybe they're converts from a part of the world that doesn't have a lot of Catholicism. This is a great option for daily reading and for, I guess you could say, bringing it with you on the go, and for it lasting a long time, not so much. It's not lay flat, and it's not very, very well bound. Although, I mean, it seems that the pages are just kind of individually put in there. It seems sewn to an extent, but not maybe very strong. This is a good Bible, and I'll have a link to it. I also want to remind people that I have an Amazon wish list, in which if you choose to donate to the show, that is the best way to do so. If you also want to support me monetarily at a one-time fee, I have a PayPal tip jar. And if you want to become a monthly supporter of the show, I have a locals as well. But if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and share this with whoever would enjoy it. Thank you very much, and God bless.